What up, everybody? Hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday fun day, enjoyed their Thanksgiving, enjoyed their Black Friday. I didn't really take part in that. Thanksgiving was pretty restful. For the most part, it was my vacation, so I took advantage of it, kind of rested and recouped and recharged and whatnot. So yeah, pretty interesting week so far. And I thought, well, based on the topic, I'll give my takeaways from post-Survivor Series or WWE and everything else that I got a chance to check out this week. So, well, before I continue, December 12th will be, we are billing it as the last time we will be at the Clear Lake Sports and Recreation Center. Reality Wrestling's last television taping there. The plan, I believe, is to be moved into our new major performance facility, probably shortly there after that, and then that'll be where we start doing our television tapings. But Clear Lake's been a great venue for us. Most, if not all, reality wrestling television tapings have been there. I mean, there have been a few like Comic Palooza and a few others when we go out on the road, but for the most part, that's been our home. And so it's it's kind of bittersweet. On the one hand, great that the next show, hopefully next television taping, will take place at the new complex, and quite a large complex. So much possibility. So, again, kind of bittersweet. On the one hand, progress, but probably kind of the closing of a chapter, so to speak. I think everyone will probably take a moment to think about where we've come. How far we've come in the span of the time from the first Clear Lake show, rebranding to Reality Wrestling to now, and what the future may potentially hold. And did catch the most recent airing on the CW, which probably by the time you see this will be on YouTube. So check those shows out, or go to realitywrestling.com for more details. But again, big event, Christmas Chaos 10. I was part of Christmas Chaos 1. I faced Umaga, my debut with PWA at the time. Really memorable night all around, and I don't think Christmas Chaos 10 will disappoint. I think it'll be a stacked card. It's going to be all hands on deck kind of situation. Again, because it's a big big event for the company, and from a historic standpoint, it's the end of a chapter, supposedly, potentially. So, but good times, man, good times, and I'm looking forward to the show. A lot of what's going to come out. But yeah, so I'll talk a little. Well, actually, I'll talk about the latest airing before I get into Raw and all that. Thought it was a pretty solid match between Hammer and Rockstar. Rockstar returning, glad to see him back. Good match between Bartek and Sky. Now Bartek's a former member, and I thought their match was pretty solid. I enjoyed Q's and Gino's promo, and I really enjoyed Eric Lockhart versus the Pride. Pride getting the win with the help of Andrew Lockhart, or at least his music. Yeah, so not bad. Pretty fun show. I enjoyed it. What the stories they're pushing along and whatnot. So real interesting to see where they go from here. And again, December 12th, big television taping. Should be a fun time. Christmas Chaos 10. Now, let's talk about Raw. And, obviously people have their opinions of Sheamus as champion. He's a heel, so him getting booed, a good thing. I thought the fact that there wasn't really a swerve. I hear people's opinions about about Reigns kind of calling people out on the reaction that he gets, if it's a negative reaction. But if WWE feels like we just want him to stay a babyface and make him a babyface and make him a huge babyface, and that's what we're going to go with, and you're not going to really deviate from that, then Sheamus cashing in, I didn't see a problem with it. Again, it's the beauty of the cash-in is that you're not supposed to really suspect it or expect it, even though when they hint at it, you should expect it, even though, you know, it doesn't happen. So Sheamus cashing in, I don't have a problem with it. I think he gets a good reaction. And if it elevates his cohorts, if it elevates Rusev and it elevates King Barrett in the process, then even better, because those are two guys that could use an elevation, especially given it being King Barrett and Rusev, and given where Rusev was as of WrestleMania and kind of where he's gone. So this could kind of help prepare things with or without Lana, which is a completely different story, and I don't really know what to make of it. But you know, as far as Raw goes, you know, the way they opened it, you know, kind of showing that Sheamus is in their corner, which works. Again, you don't make Ambrose a heel. You don't make Reigns a heel. You know, they can kind of stay their course, and it doesn't muck up anything that they may have planned. Because maybe, look, they're like, well, if we, you know, they might have these kind of checks and balances, and with Cesaro being out, well, that loses a player, even though there's other guys that they could probably bring into that position, and there's, you know, an influx of talent and whatnot. But again, making him part of the Authority, even loosely associated, I don't have a problem with it. Because again, it shows kind of the guy that's willing to do whatever to get his goal. You know, to achieve his goal, versus the guy who's, you know, kind of willing, you know, only willing to go as far as his moral core will take him. I was okay with it. I thought decent build for Sheamus and Reigns for TLC. Seeing those two guys with tables, ladders, and chairs is going to be interesting. I expect a good match between those two, a pretty hard-fought match. And again, if you've got all the particulars, I mean, you could have an Ambrose thrown in, you know, when the melee begins, or, you know, again, you have Rusev and King Barrett to kind of play off of. So there's plenty of parts in that, and I didn't really see a problem with it, and I think it's a good build. You know, what could I say about Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper beating the Dudley Boys, and then Eric Rowan and Braun Strowman helping to destroy the Dudley Boys? If it leads somewhere, which it could potentially. I mean, again, the Wyatts coming out of this need to have some kind of focus, something to focus on. And if they're after brothers, which would also be the Usos down the line, if they went that route with, you know, since it was the Brothers of Destruction that caused them to lose at Survivor Series, you know, then what better way to kind of rev up than to start feuding with other brother teams. Dudleys are a good old school team, so I think they work well with Wyatt and Harper, as well as Rowan and Strowman, so we'll see how that goes. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch. Now I know Mick Foley had an issue with it, and anytime, I mean, honestly, he's stating kind of the obvious as far as he wishes these women got more time within the context of the show and the story. Like, you know, if ultimately you're not trying to tell this big story and you're kind of keeping them in the background for the time being, while you let Charlotte and Paige kind of keep the main spotlight, then alright, I could see that. But you know, so I could understand them wanting to kind of keep them on the back burner, and they have a good little quick competitive match, but it would be great if they had more time. So I got where Mick was coming from. I didn't really have a problem with it, although I'd like to see more. Again, giving them a little more time, a couple more minutes, I don't think would hurt in the long run. And again, you could have these competitive matchups just for the sake of competition, although it'd be great if something was on the line. So again, with the storyline aspect, but that's kind of where the disconnect is sometimes with it. Again, I was okay with the match. I thought it was all right. Let's see. You know, potential triple threat for the tag belts. Let's see. You know, that's pretty good. New Day, happy anniversary for those guys as a team. The Lucha Dragons and the Usos, if they do some kind of triple threat, maybe a ladder match, I could see that maybe. We'll see how they build towards TLC, but that could be something. And imagine those three teams doing some pretty creative stuff with a ladder. I could see them going that route, but we'll see. I mean, again, you got to kind of build each gimmick match and not only have a TLC match, but TLC and stairs, or maybe have a stairs match. I don't know if they're going to do that, even though I think they brought that up. But then you'd have to have a tables match, a ladders match, a chairs match. So we'll see. Unique matchup between Mark Henry and Neville. Quick, you know, Mark's apparently not going to re-sign. He's going to retire. He's had a pretty good career overall, and you know, once you get to a certain point, if you're kind of on the downswing or downslope of your career, that, you know, sometimes you're put in that position, but doesn't negate what Mark has done for the company and the fact that he's still a company guy. And you know, it doesn't take very much to, I mean, a motivated Mark Henry can have another run if that was where they wanted to go, but I don't think that's where they want to go with him at this point. Again, I thought, you know, pretty quick, good little match, good match for Neville, put him over against the bigger guy, and, you know, handshake between the two, sign of respect. Let's see. Other than that, Stardust and Ascension against the returning Goldust, who returned the night before. Survivor Series and Primetime Players. Good outing for Titus. Good way for Goldust to kind of get back into the flow of things. And, you know, I mean, with Cesaro out, not till WrestleMania, but potentially till WrestleMania. I mean, again, if he comes back, do you want to rush him back into something unless it was something of significance? I don't think you would. So Stardust versus Goldust, maybe they could do that. Oh man, that I would be willing to see that culmination of kind of maybe culmination of the character, which I wouldn't want to see Stardust leaving. Maybe Goldust, you know, maybe it's like only room enough for one brother or something like that. I mean, they could go that route. Maybe give Goldust a good send off if in fact he wanted to. If in fact he was saying he was done. Again, a guy with the kind of longevity he's had, but I like the Stardust character. I like him with Ascension. I hope that they do a little bit more with those guys. But, you know, it's figuring out where to put them in relation to everybody else. So, but again, good outing for Titus. I'm constantly impressed with him as he gains confidence in his abilities. So, yeah. Let's see what next. Mexican America State of the Union Address. Zeb Coulter and Alberto Del Rio closed their borders, so I guess they're done with that for now, because I didn't see the flag on SmackDown, so I think they're done with that. Now they're just together for the time being, or at least until the Jack Swagger thing, so we'll see how that goes. Although, you know, I like Swagger coming to the rescue, and hopefully they'll do something with Swagger, and hopefully he doesn't, you know, cause any kind of issue once they do put him in that position. I think he's getting a good reaction, the We the People stuff and whatnot, so I'm okay with it. And, you know, if the angle wasn't getting over, and it didn't seem like, at least Del Rio seemed to on board with it, so yeah, I mean, do away with it. Let Del Rio be Del Rio. Let him feel motivated. Let him do something motivating. But at the same time, take into account that he is holding a title. And he can make that into something big if the company allows it to be big. You pushed it for Cena, so I think you got to push it for the other guys and not be just about the message that Del Rio is trying to tell. And hopefully that's what they do moving forward, or at least after TLC. Divas title rematch from Survivor Series, Paige versus Charlotte. Double count out. I liked it. I liked it for what it was. And again, I can understand Mick's approach as far as saying they needed more time, Banks and Lynch. But again, when you have another Divas title, a Divas title rematch, you need to give them some time, so I could understand it. But again, as much time as you have on the show, why not give them equal time, or at least a little more time for Lynch and Banks? But back to Paige and Charlotte, I've liked them so far. I've liked both matches so far. I understand people who say that Charlotte doesn't connect, and I think, say what you will, but Paige making the reference about Charlotte's probably a way of them trying to build sympathy for Charlotte. It's one of those things where, she hasn't been in there that long. Now she's kind of being able to be on her own, which will help the growth process. I think if they can almost eliminate the teams to some extent, which I think they are, Team Bad can kind of remain together, because I like them as a trio. But I've liked the Paige Charlotte stuff so far. I think we'll just have to see if Charlotte can gain that momentum of a babyface, getting all the sympathy that she's getting. I look forward to their next match. Let's see, Ziggler and Ambrose defeated Breeze and Owens. Ambrose getting the win on Breeze. Pretty solid back and forth. And then they ended it with Rusev and Reigns going at it. Sheamus in Rusev's corner. King Bear coming out to attack Reigns. But Roman standing tall. Again, good build for TLC. And then on SmackDown, let's see, because I do watch SmackDown, some people don't. It's part of my weekly thing, and because you got to stay current with it, I pretty much try to stay as current with it, more so than other shows as we'll progress through this. But takeaways from that, Paige and Becky Lynch, enjoyed it. I like the New Day potluck dinner, or Thanksgiving dinner, complete with gobbledygooker. The cameo with Xavier, which would play later on when the Lucha Dragons beat the New Day in their tag team match. And I like Del Rio versus Jack Swagger. Swagger getting the win by DQ, so obviously they're going to continue to keep those two going at it, which is good. Again, hopefully Swagger can continue his momentum, and hopefully the crowd will he'll resonate with the crowd, connect with them, and you get some good physical stuff from Del Rio and Swagger. And then in the main, good triple threat for the #1 contendership for the IC title. Ambrose becoming the new #1 contender. Having Owens on commentary is always good, and it was a great matchup between the three. And kudos to Ambrose. Let's see, what else? NXT, I really enjoyed the contract signing. Liked what Joe did. Liked how Balor reacted. I understand needing to have someone in charge while Regal's away, but I don't know, maybe someone other than Michael Cole, maybe. I just don't know who. I mean, I could see, no, because he's a trainer. I guess his breaking ground continues, because I could see who was Albert. I could see him be the guy, but I like the physicality and the contract signing, the approach to it and whatnot. I did like Dash and Wilder against the Vaudevillains from a teamwork psychology standpoint and execution. Good psychology from Dash and Wilder, and Vaudevillains are a great tag team, and great to see Enzo and Kaz kind of get the revenge. Hopefully they'll get the title at some point. That would be pretty, giving it to them before they leave would be pretty awesome. But I'm looking forward to where that goes. Apollo Crews versus Jesse Sorensen was solid. Apollo getting the win, and then Eva Marie, the main event, with Nia Jax versus Bayley for the NXT Women's title. And such a negative emotional response from the crowd. And while I might agree that Eva isn't the greatest choice, she may be the wisest. You truly want to see Bayley outclass Eva Marie, and isn't that the point? The crowd was into it. I wasn't so bothered by them. I didn't really tune them out. They seemed to be on board, and the story of the match really worked. Especially with the referee and then Charles Robinson. You wonder if corporate's really on board. They want Eva Marie to be the next champion. I thought it was good, man, and Bayley getting the win was well done. We'll see where they go from there. So let's see, what else? ROH. Watched a couple of tapings. I did not watch Impact this week, even though I had some time. I just, I don't know. Didn't really feel like, maybe later I'll watch it, but got so much going on. I mean, I got Walking Dead here later on, and I did catch up on my Talking Dead, though. But I did catch ROH. I caught both the November 18th and the November 25th, which was my birthday. So caught both of those today, in fact. And let's see. Enjoy War Machine versus Silas Young and the Beer City Bruiser. Thought the spots were great. Thought it was a great recap of Carino and Whitmer. The story and great promo by Carino. And entertaining stuff between the Kingdom and the Addiction. Great heel stuff. And then on the 25th, which would be Destination America, the last airing of ROH on the Destination America network. I believe I won't know until later today, but I think I get ROH, their Sinclair broadcast. I believe I get it. And I want to say I do get Pop, but I'm not worried about TNA at this point. We'll get into that probably for another episode. But really, the last airing of What a Way to Go Out, Lethal and Strong for the ROH TV title. Man, Strong winning by submission was great. That was a great finishing sequence between both guys. A great three-match series for those two, and good work all the way around. Again, I think will continue to get ROH, and I will probably continue to get Impact Wrestling, but that does mean I probably won't watch Destination America moving forward. I don't know. I really only watch the channel for those two, so. But if Destination America wants no part of it, or maybe they're going with another wrestling company altogether, or they're just getting out of the wrestling game altogether because they have their niche market, which I would think, if your channel's about America, well, what's more American than wrestling? I'm just saying. But again, maybe they want. If they were to go a wrestling route, maybe they just get like an All-American Wrestling or Destination America Wrestling. And they just build their own thing. But, oh well. I'll watch Impact later at some point. I have a bunch of New Japan stuff too. But I'm in no hurry. I think I'm only a couple months behind. No, I think I'm September. I'm backed up till September with New Japan. At some point I'll sit down and watch those. So much to do. 2K16. Let me see real quick. 2K16 WWE. Still the NXT champion. I've only played a little bit. Defended my title only once against Finn Balor and I beat Balor, even though going up in leading up to it, I would lose really close matchups. So I'm just still getting the hang of the game. Powering them up as I go. I just we'll see how that progresses. I have ideas of where I'm going to take that character, the Steve DeMarco avatar, where I plan on taking him, or what I plan on doing with him. But we'll see. Again, I have Last of Us. Still haven't wrapped that up. I need to wrap that up. I still have Arkham Knight. At some point, I'll play that. But yeah, last thing I played was 2K16, and I was I did all right, man. Again, retaining against Finn Balor and working on the chop with my lady love. I think we had her wrestle a match, but it wasn't. It's some managers. And there were some hijinks, so yeah, we'll have to play it again at some point. So the main topic being this time of year, time of the year is a time for reflection. You get close to New Year's. For some, for me, it's my birthday. I mean, it's right around Thanksgiving. Actually, I was born on Thanksgiving, so I always enjoy this time of year because it's a chance to look back, a chance to reflect, give thanks for all the positives. It's a good way of looking at the positive in a world that is, very filled with negatives. This year's been tough in some respects from a physicality standpoint. Just things that have added up over the years and they're neglected, and you start to feel them, whether it's just limited shoulder mobility or limited hip mobility, or just certain things that I really have to be diligent with trying to combat. But the truth is that today I feel good. Rest has helped, and I'm thankful that I'm able to walk and breathe and wake up and live another day on this world, and thankful for my friends and my family, all of them. Thankful for the entertainment that I get. All the entertainment that I have, from all the multitude of channels that I can watch, the multitude of television that's out there, Netflix and Hulu, the WWE Network, as well as the PS4 and PS3 games that I currently own or currently partake in or rent. I'm thankful for good television. Thankful for good food. I've enjoyed some food, quite a bit of food as of late. I've enjoyed the stuff that has been good. It's not always great, but there's some stuff that's really good out there. Thankful for my lady love. Thankful for this journey that we're on. The fact that she partakes in it. The fact that she puts up with me, the fact that we support one another, the fact that I can wake up next to her, go to bed next to her, I'm thankful for all that. Thankful she's in my life. Can't imagine my life without her. Obviously, I'm really thankful for my parents, their continued support, spiritually, and the conversations that I can have with them mean a lot to me, especially with my mom. Thankful that she's in better health than she was earlier this year. Thankful I have a job that keeps me gainfully employed, that helps me pay my bills, that I work with some good people to work with, and there could be worse jobs out there I could be doing, but really am thankful for the job that I have. The progress that I've had with that job, as long as I've been with that job, it's the longest job I've had consistently. That was, again, gainfully employed. Thankful for wrestling. Another year. being a part of it in some capacity, being a producer. Has really been a great gig. I thoroughly enjoy working with talent. I thoroughly enjoy teaching. I've really learned that probably over the last few years working for Reality Wrestling, working in the capacity that I work, as an agent or a producer or talent coordinator or whatever have you. Mentor to some. Again, I enjoy talking to talent and picking their brains and having them pick mine, and kind of doing some of the stuff that we're doing at the school now, at least once or twice a week. Some of the character development stuff that we're doing, and getting to be, on that ground level with them, helping them discover their voice, and in turn helping the show put out better product, which is paramount for us, the success of the company. I'm grateful and thankful, to be able to work with Booker and Sharmell and Kevin and everybody there. All the guys that are my friends, all the guys that are part of my family, all the gals that are part of this brotherhood or fraternity or a family that we've got going. A lot of talented men and women that are part of Reality Wrestling, and I'm always thankful to be a part of it. I'm humbled to be a part of it, to be part of that, in some respects, brain trust to help put on a solid show. And it's great to see stuff that's executed and that you've had a little bit of help in, as far as coordinating and whatnot. And again, it's kept me in the business. I don't know if I wasn't working for Reality Wrestling what I would be doing as far as within wrestling. I'm not, the truth is I haven't given it much thought. At one point I did. And I think maybe in another video we'll talk about that, the reflection of the career, and the transition to what it is now. Do I miss performing? Yeah, I would be an absolute liar if I said, oh no, I don't miss it. I do miss it, and being as close to it as I am. I mean, there are days, days where it's like, man, it'd be cool. But I don't approach it like that. I approach it, I like what I do. I like the job that I have. And I'm looking forward to what next year brings, especially with the new facility. And it's going to just be a real interesting time for the company and for the industry as a whole. I think, 2016 is going to be real telling for a lot of different aspects. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, of course, we've got at least another month of this year. At least another month of the year. So I'm sure as we progress, I'll have a reflection of the year. But I'm thankful for all of you that take the time to watch this, to listen to my voice, to listen to me talk about the industry and my likes and dislikes, mainly my likes, my positive outlook on it. I truly enjoy, thinking of topics and watching the shows and jotting down notes. I mean, this thing is almost full. It's almost 2 years old, this book, as far as when I first started filling it, and it is, that's how much I have left of it. So I've got a few more episodes at least before I have to start a new one, and who knows, that might be a video in itself. It's just kind of going over the last couple of years. Again, I enjoy doing these. I enjoy the people that take time or send me a message or when they see me talk, ask me about it, ask me what I'm going to talk about or whatnot. I think as we get closer to the building coming to a point, once we move into the facility and I have a little more time there, I'll probably start doing some sit downs with some of the talent. Definitely want to check in with some of the guys that have been on the show before. But I wouldn't necessarily keep it just to them. I mean, if anybody else wants to come on the show, it's just a matter of having a conversation and us figuring out a good time that's beneficial to both. But scheduling is tough, especially when you're trying to do it video-wise, and I like to have kind of the face-to-face conversation. So, but we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. But again, thank all of you. Thankful for my life. Thankful for the time I have on this earth, because you never know when it's going to come to an end, and I don't think I'd want to know, so just got to enjoy it while it lasts. So as I always like to say, stay cool, stay sexy, stay classy. Just enjoy it, enjoy the journey, have a day for yourself, a fun day for yourself, for friends and family. Just try to enjoy it, as I always like to say, just try to enjoy it, and if you do, then you already are all those. Until the next time, later!